The new BMW X5 has just been revealed. It's available with 5 new powertrains, really new looks, and a new steering wheel that I almost wonder if BMW put in the car just to spite me. So let's talk about the details. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe. Please like the video for me. It really helps me out. Let's get into the new BMW X5. So this is the 5th generation BMW X5, fitting for how many powertrains it has. And you've got your normal gas, your plug-in hybrid. You also have a hydrogen powertrain, an all-electric iX5, which is joining the lineup for the first time, and you'll have multiple gas powertrains. You've got the 6-cylinder option, but you're also going to have V8 option. The X5 will have a diesel powertrain, of course, as well. I don't know if we'll see that in the US. I kind of doubt it. I don't think we'll get all 5 powertrains here if you don't count the gas ones as separate, but there will be a diesel option for some parts of the world. So there's your 5 powertrains. The car is wearing the new BMW new Class A looks and styling package, which is very different than any previous BMW SUVs you may be used to. So the closest thing is the new 3 Series electric that they came out with. That's basically what this is on an X5 now. The X5 is expected to hit dealerships in October. The 6-cylinder version will start around $71,000. Other variants of the X5 are not going to hit until early next year, from what I understand. So that's the basics of the car. Let's talk about the looks really quick, and then we'll talk about the interior. And we'll, of course, talk about how this X5 stacks up against other competitors, especially with all these new powertrain options. So let's talk about the looks of this car. Those front headlights with like the X's, kind of cool, but really the problem here is just like that tiny little grille. There's like illumination everywhere on the front of the car. The back of the car is not too offensive. It kind of looks like an XM and like an iX3 kind of threw up on an X5. And I'm probably sounding like a BMW hater right now, but I know a lot about BMWs. I liked them for a really long time, but just this new design language is just like making it impossible to be on their side with some of these. I don't think this is like when the G80, M3, and M4 came out a couple years ago, and like everyone hated it at first, but then started to love it. This is just too much. I don't know what's going on with SUVs this year. Like we had the Ferrari Luce a couple months ago, and now we've got this X5 situation. It's almost like they're rage baiting us. The side profile of the car is actually not that bad. I feel like the side profile just looks like a slightly beefier X5 from the last generation, which was a pretty good looking car, honestly. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say a travesty that they did this, but I know people with X5Ms and they do not like this new X5. So I don't think a lot of the clients are going to transfer over from the last generation to this one. So that's the exterior looks. Let's jump into the interior, where some of my own personal opinions are more focused, and we'll talk about that. And sorry if the exterior section was a little short. I just don't have a lot of good things to say about it, so I don't want to say too much. I mean, they're even putting like the M exhaust tips on the non-M cars now. Not even like the M, whatever is the M550s. They're putting like the real M exhaust tips on like a V6 X5. I can't justify that at all. So exterior section, we're moving on. Interior, this is where things get really interesting. The new steering wheel is like, I really feel like they put it there just to piss me off, because I was already upset about the new Audi steering wheel that they recently came out with, and now we've got this thing from BMW that it doesn't even look like a real like I feel like this is like an AI steering wheel. I mean, you've got a spoke on the top of the wheel, like looking right where a gauge cluster should be. It's not there. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the part where your hand goes is like disconnected from where the buttons on the wheel are, so it doesn't even look like it's like a comfortable transition to press them. The screen is like angled, which actually I don't hate too much, believe it or not. I've seen a lot of people complaining about that, but that doesn't bother me. I actually kind of like it in the pictures. I'd have to see it in person, but the fact that it's kind of slanted towards you, I don't hate that. I could see that being good. But the rest of the gauge cluster, you'll notice, is missing. It's not in front of you where every other car's gauge cluster is, except for a Tesla, which, great, we're copying Tesla now. There's like a little bar where the, defrosters usually blow the air out, and that's where your speed is, where your music is, where the temperature is, like, all the stuff that's supposed to be on a little screen in front of you is like way up in front of you on the car. I don't know if this has a heads-up display. I don't know why you would need it when it's that close to the edge of the windshield already, but I don't like it. Like, I think a heads-up display is a much better spot for this info, and having a regular gauge cluster in front of you. Nothing makes sense on this interior. And just looking at the pictures, I feel like the visibility is a lot worse than the prior gen was. Like, the screens take up a lot of the space around you. The dashboard comes up pretty high and wraps around. The seats in the center console don't look too different from usual, so I think it's still going to feel like a BMW when you get in it. Whether that's a good thing or not is up for debate, because their seats haven't always been the plushest compared to some of the competitors like Mercedes and Audi. But it's like they just tried to mess everything up that was going semi-okay. I mean, they just came out with a really nice steering wheel on the facelifted M3 and M4, where it was like the M wheel with the flat bottom. That was a great wheel. They went from probably like one of their best looking wheels they've ever made to one of the worst in one model. This is almost impressive how bad it got. The new door handles aren't even on, there's no door handles. They're like little tablets that you pull on the outside of the car. I was going to say I'm sorry if this video has turned into a rant, but I was about to say this rant has turned into a video, which is basically what's happened here. I feel like they just destroyed their X5. This is like one of their best-selling models, and they made it unappealing in so many ways. And they kind of just did the same treatment of the 3 Series, which everyone knew was coming, so I think they've had time to digest it. But this X5 SUV, like, it leaked like 6 months ago, if you saw that or not. If you didn't follow the channel, so you never missed anything like that. But people almost didn't believe it was real because of how bad it looked. It's this car. It looked just like this. So it's almost like BMW is trying to push a lot of people away and go for this like weird niche people, almost like Ferrari did with the Luce. I know I mentioned the Luce earlier. It's kind of reminding me of that. The only thing I'll say that I really do like is all the powertrains they're offering. Because in the world today where it's getting so much harder to have these different powertrains, I like that they're offering you every option, whereas a lot of companies are saying, no more V8, you get this, you know, V6 hybrid now or whatever. At least BMW's got the hydrogen, they get the electric, they get the 6-cylinder, they get the all-wheel drive, they get the rear-wheel drive, and they're going to have an X5M, I'm sure, with the V8, and they'll maybe have an X5 M550i or M60i, as they call them now. I really like the powertrains they're offering. Basically everything about the car, I think they need to throw out. Kind of like how the new M5, just they're working on a refresh way quicker than usual because it was not very successful, and they really got a lot of things wrong on that as well. I think the same thing needs to happen with this X5. Get it fixed quick, get a refresh LCI out fast that fixes a lot of these things. The Audi SQ9 that they just showed, and you know, even the new Q7, SQ7 that just came out, I don't know why you would buy this X5 over either of those cars, to be honest with you. I could have seen an argument in the past where maybe the BMWs had better tech or something over the Audis. Not anymore. And the Audis look way better than this. The interior is way nicer, especially the seats. I don't love that new Audi steering wheel, but it's night and day better than this thing. Like, if you go back and watch my recent SQ7 and Q7 video, I was pretty upset about that steering wheel. This has made me think that steering wheel is one of the best things that we've seen all year because of how bad this one is. So, makes more sense to buy the Audi, makes more sense to buy a Porsche Cayenne, it makes more sense to buy a Mercedes GLE or GLS. Obviously, the X5 direct competitors are a GLE and a Q7. So I think either one of those cars looks better than this at the time. I'd rather have whatever you want to say the Lexus equivalent is, the GX. I just don't know what they did here. So BMW, I'm not trying to hate on you. I've liked a lot of your cars that I've driven. This one was just a miss for me. I don't even want to drive this one. I hope they can do better in the future because this is kind of sad if this is the design language for the next, 5-10 years. At a time where it seems like Audi and Mercedes are starting to kind of realize that they were going the wrong direction and start to right things, BMW seems like they're just going headfirst into the wrong. So they got lucky with the G80 and G82, M3 and M4, whereas everyone thought it was wrong, but it worked out pretty well. These ones are not going to work out. So great job on the powertrains, BMW. Maybe rethink everything else. Like I said, I've got nothing against BMW. I would love to work with them in some capacity if they ever wanted to, but these cars just, it's hard to justify saying good things about them. So I hope you guys enjoyed my honest opinion on this. I always want to tell you the truth on this channel. I do not like this new X5. The competitors all make way more sense. And I'm just going to cut this rant here because it's going on long and long and I'm just saying the same things. but I was shocked by this car when it came out. I really just couldn't believe what I was seeing. So please like the video and subscribe for me if you haven't already. It really helps me out. I hope to see you guys in a future Exotics Anonymous video. You always get car news from me first. And cars, a lot of these cars you'll know about before they come out if you watch my channel. The new Urus SE Performante I talked about months ago that came out today. It's just an example. So follow the channel for me. Hope to see you in a future video. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of this X5. I'm sure everyone has a lot of thoughts on it. And I will see you in the next video.